Hey guys, in today's very late Vlogmas day, today is day 6. Sorry this is posted so late, but I did go live, so hopefully that makes up for this late Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be doing a little morning routine, but instead it's winter instructor version. As you guys know, Horsey and I are both instructors and we both have our license to train horses and things. So before all the lesson kids get here, we have a little morning routine that we both do, and we're both gonna go through that, except Horsey is unable to make it to the barn today. She got a little bit sick on the way, so I'm going to be starting for her. She did come earlier and grain some of the horses, and she put them outside, so they might have not all finished their grain, but I'm just going to come back in and finish graining some of the horses. As you can see, some of the grain is still left in there, like that stall, but I'm going to go through and give some of the horses their grain, and then I'm going to go in, turn some of the horses in, maybe work a few horses just before the lesson kids get here, so they have like a nice quiet horse just in case, because obviously it's winter, some of the horses are cold, you never know. Horsey also looks like Horsey topped the waters on this side, and so I might do that after, right before some of the lesson kids come, so the horses still have drinks, especially since we had one of the kids clean the water troughs yesterday, so they have water outside, and most of the horses are outside since Horsey already turned all of them out. So those are all ready. I'm going to go and get our first horse and bring him in because he will be used in a lesson later today. Not all the horses are used the same amount of time, but today's horse being used is Teddy. Not every single day there's lessons too, like Thursday specifically is our off day. Also, my voice is I have cracking voice right now. I don't know, I lost it for some reason. But basically, I'm using Teddy for today's lesson. There's only about 2 or 3 kids coming, and we'll use different horses as the day goes on, but since Horsey turned them out maybe an hour before, I want to give them enough time to roam around outside. So I'm going to start out by bringing Teddy in so he can eat his grain, he can get a drink of water, if the water trough outside is frozen maybe. So we'll go and bring him in, let him do his stuff, and then eventually I'll go and get the other horses as the day goes on, so that way they all get their time outside. Especially since it's cold, I want to make sure all the horses have an equal amount of time outside. So he's just going to go do his little thing in his stall, and later I'll come back and get the rest of the lesson horses. So now I'm going to go and get Donuts, who I literally just cut out an hour of me walking. It took so long that I literally just hopped on his back. His blanket is also outside his door, especially since he's really, really fuzzy. Right now, I'm going to be clipping some of his feathers on his feet because he has so many of those, and they're super, super thick. And we want to make sure we can get the boots on him for when we're working him. So I'm just going to clip those quickly, and then we'll get into, I'm probably just going to ride him a bit, maybe bring him around, because Horsey wasn't able to make it that far today. So I'm just going to go around, work him a little bit, make sure he gets a nice little stretch after I clip these. So these clippers are super easy to use. They just glide on the horse and make sure that the feathers are nice and smooth. They're a lot smaller, but we still like to keep some feather on our horse just to make sure that they're nice and warm during the winter. So now I'm going to come in and get his bridle because I'd like to keep him in bitting tack for now, because I want to get him nice and smooth as I am using a bitless bridle on him. So it's almost like bitting tack just without the bit. I want to make sure he feels comfortable. If I have to use a bit in his mouth because he's being a little bit scared, or not scared, but he hasn't been ridden in a bitless bridle a lot, so he's not very used to it, if you know what I mean. He might feel more comfortable with the bit, I guess. And they're not really comfortable, you know what I mean? They might like it more, I guess, because he is really, really soft in his mouth, so he doesn't need a lot of pressure, but at some points he can get really hard and might need a little more of a helping hand, let's just say that. So Donuts is actually really, really forward today. I think I'm just going to lightly work him both directions in the round pen, make sure he's nice and stretched. See, as you can tell, he's very, very excited, and he's probably not used to his feathers being clipped. So I just did that for Horsey, so it's out of her way. She can keep recovering from her little sickness. As y'all know, you usually get sick in winter because it's just, you get really congested and things, so that's why Horsey is out, and I'm going to be helping her doing the 3 lessons I have today. I'm pretty sure I have one at 1 o'clock, and then one at 4, and a later one today at 7 p.m., so I'm going to be doing those. I know I'm posting this at night, but it's still like a morning routine for some people, especially if like, you know, people across the world are like watching this in different time zones. You never know. Anything could be happening. And I did film this in the morning, right at 6 o'clock, which is when I was starting this vlog. So for tomorrow's Vlogmas, it will be something a little bit different, but hopefully something you guys like. So I'm really excited for you guys to see that then. So Horsey and I usually each work a horse in the morning, especially in winter because they're nice and cold, and it's just, you really want to make sure that they get their energy out and that their joints aren't getting stiff. And in summer, it's a little bit easier to work them because they don't get as stiff and they more so like being in the warmth, and there's so much you can like do, you know, it's just always to keep them nice and relaxed and comfortable with themselves. So right now I'm practicing a little thing we have. Horsey and I both do this on donuts. It's like a little training tool where we try and we slow the horses down to a whoa, so that way if they're ever in an emergency, they understand what that is. And he completed that perfectly, especially with the bitless bridle. I'm really happy he did that so well too. Right now I'm asking for a little sitting trot. As you guys know, I'm doing bareback because I'm lightly working him, making sure he's nice and comfortable. That way he gets his joints stretched, but I also don't want to lunge him as he was lunged yesterday because he has been really spicy lately, and I just want to make sure that he doesn't like be a little annoying thing to many of the younger kids that ride him. And these guys know horses are horses, they have their days, but I can't have him thinking that it's okay to do that. So I need to make sure that he's nice, he's like cooperating with his rider. Sometimes it's okay to throw a little buck once in a while, but he shouldn't be thinking that doing the wrong thing is okay. So I'm going to ask him to walk on. Right there, he did actually stop, which is a good thing for us to know that he's listening. Whoa. It's because I keep telling he's trying to trot, so I'm just asking him to whoa, making sure he understands what he's trying to be told. So right now I'm going to bring him back, and he's going to be put away then, and I'll start doing extra things that I need to be done around the barn. Also, Horsey did muck stalls for me, which is really, really nice of her. Oh. We're not going to talk about me casually dying, but here's a little tack down transition. Didn't take that long, but right now I'm going to go back, make sure that everything is in place, and probably grab some coffee because I am super tired today. You know, some days you just aren't feeling your best. You could use a little bit of help, but you know what I mean? It's a really, really nice day. All the horses do have hay. Horsey did also feed in the morning, which I'm really happy she did because it's super cold and I really don't feel like getting some hay on me and then stacking it around and doing all that. So I'm happy she did that. Some of these 2 stalls in the ends do not have hay, which I'm pretty sure they're going to be used for keeping the horses in with bidding tack. So we'll take their grain buckets out then because we're going to be putting them in bidding tack to relax in there. So this stall does have a licket, which I'm pretty sure I know who's going that. It's a person that leases there, and she boards Malcolm, who is also her new lease horse, and basically I bought him for her. But yeah, that is the it of this trainer morning routine.